What is up, Scrub fam? We are back today. It is Monday. We are here with another video. We are here to get you ready for the Tournament of Power or the Vegas region, whichever you're going to this upcoming weekend. And today we're going to be taking a look at Invoker, a closer look. This is for those who are beginners looking to get into the strategy or those who are looking for tips and strategies to get better at playing this archetype. Before we get started in this video, let me give a shout out to my sponsor, Alec Pastrana, Beard Collectibles, best shop owner of the planet. If you haven't picked up your sealed product for Series 9, make sure you do so ASAP. This set is looking like to be one of the best this game has ever seen, so make sure you get your hands on the product. So, like I said, we're going to be taking a closer look at Invoker today. First thing we're going to do is we're going to look at this leader. So, activate battle. Everyone goes to the leader effects, but I just want to do it because I want to. And when this card is in a battle, choose one card in one extra card in your hand and place it in the drop area. Choose one card in your life, add it to your hand, draw one card, then this card gets plus 5,000, and then negate this skill for the duration of the battle. So this is going to be your early way to generate card parity / advantage against your opponent. It punishes your opponent for not comboing, because if they don't combo, not only do you get to, take the life like you normally would, but you get to draw an additional card. So really punishes the opponent like that. You can also use this aggressively as well against decks that don't like to attack because you need to get your life down lower for when you surge. On your backside, your surge abilities, you have activate main / battle. If your life is at 5 or less, choose one of the cards, place it in your drop area. First one is Thought Seize. If you have a Universe 7 card in play, draw one card. Your opponent reveals their hand, choose up to one extra card or battle card with 35,000 power or less, and place it in their drop area. The ability that people are most hype about, a lot of people are talking about how busted this ability is, but ultimately, I truly believe the most busted ability is the ability to choose up to 3 multicolor extra cards with different names in your drop area or warp and add them to your hand. Absolutely wild. So you either have the ability to Thought Seize your opponent, or you get a technically a draw 3, which all the cards that you're going to be drawing are completely relevant, are going to allow you to get ahead to stay ahead, which is our mantra here, with this deck. So, key cards: Tournament Power Arena, SSP Vegeta Inspired Technique. In Tournament Power Arena, you need to make sure you have it so you can make sure all your red-blue multicolor cards get rid of their energy exhaust, because this deck doesn't play the Mecha Frieza check land. And then you have the Activate main. If your leader card is Universe 7 card and you switch this card to Rest Mode, look up to 3 cards from the top of your deck, then place them on the top or bottom of your deck in any order. This is important because as a control player, you need to know that information is the most important thing. So having access to the cards that you could draw and being able to change that is very important. Also, this ability to combine it with Royal Condemnation and Emperor's Death Beam to turn this into card draw, essentially, by finding additional copies of your multicolor extra cards, is very important to how this deck accrues and maintains parity / advantage with the opponent, and helps it find the answers it needs to deal with threats on the upcoming turns. SSB Vegeta Inspired Technique, the easiest enabler of Invoker in the deck. Barrier, Deflect, and Invoker. Very hard to remove. People are going to be playing a lot of sideboard hate against it, but it's still the card, you have to play it. These are the 2 cards that you're going to want to see your opener more often than not. These are the cards that your deck relies on turns 1, 2, and 3 and beyond to get you through the rest of the game, so you can make sure you can turn the corner and seal the game against the opponent. The general philosophy of playing Invoker, or playing Control in general: card parity / advantage. It's very important for you to stay at parity with your opponent or gain advantage over your opponent. The way a control deck functions is the fact that it's going to be playing card draw or using card draw and leveraging it to find answers to the threats that it has to face down in a given matchup. If you're not able to generate this parity or not able to generate this advantage, you're going to find yourself falling behind very quickly, because your opponent, as the game scales, your opponent is able to do more with the energy they have available to them. So keep that in mind. Your deck is only going to be able to do a certain amount of things every single turn, and you have to make sure that that is going to match what your opponent could do, or you have to have multiple answers to what they could possibly have. The next thing is knowing the threats in a matchup and their timing. Being knowledgeable about the card pool, being knowledgeable about the threats that someone could play, and their timing of their threats is one of the most important aspects of being any player in this game, but most specifically a player that's playing Invoker, because you need to know when you're supposed to Royal Condemnation something. You need to know when you need to board wipe. You need to know when Instinctive Reprisal is the most relevant. You need to know when to do the next thing, which we're going to talk about, which is denying combo steps. You have to make sure that you're gaining every sort of advantage you can over your opponent by knowing what they could do. If you're thinking about the fact that they're going to have access to Bardock Ape on turn 2, making sure that you have the ability to answer the threat within a turn or 2, or if you know that the next thing that they're going to play is something that you're probably going to have to roll Condemnation, making sure you're knowing this and approaching the game this way is very important. And then, of course, denying combo steps. Your leader in your deck does not have a lot of combo power, so you have to keep that in mind. You don't have the ability to combo out of all these attacks or these highly aggressive strategies, so you have to deny combo steps when able to make sure you can limit the use of Arrival and combo into play battle cards. This is important against decks that contain Ritter's Warcry, and this is also important against decks, like I said before, that contain Arrival. So if you're keeping the board clear, and you say you played a Warren this together, your opponent's board is clear, and all you know, your opponent has like 3 or 4 energy, and all they can do is swing with their leader, then it's probably going to be best for you to negate that attack, because if you do, you're going to be taking away any potential that they have, you know, any combo step that they may have to be able to do something, and you're going to force them to play something, which is kind of the state you want to be in. You want to be in the state of forcing your opponent to pay for their cards full retail, so then that's how you get your advantage, your energy advantage. Because that's what makes Invoker strong, is you're spending 1 energy for a powerful counter or removal effect versus their X energy that they're spending on the threats they're playing in a given turn. So narrowing the amount of times they can combo, narrowing the amount of times they can get things into play is what makes Invoker so powerful and compounds itself to create that inevitability. And then of course the last thing is getting ahead and staying ahead. You want to make sure that you can build a lead by doing the things like I said before, winning the resource exchanges, trading your 1 energy for their X energy more often than not, and then you want to be able to use your abilities to stay ahead. And this is where your surge abilities become very important, and we're going to end up talking about this here in a second. So this is your general philosophy for approaching Invoker from matchup to matchup, any given game that you're going to be playing. So here's our 3xG Invoker list. A lot of this work has been done by myself, Pat O'Neill, Richard Zapp, and Frisco specifically. So this is the list. We're playing 18 multicolor extra cards, 4 Emperor's Death Beam, 4 Royal Condemnation, arguably the best cards in the entire strategy, but in tandem, these cards combined with TOP Arena is where you're going to accrue card advantage or maintain threat to answer parity. And when I'm saying that is you want to make sure that you have the answers to the threats always, and you want to make sure that you're leveraging your Emperor's Death Beam or Royal Condemnation to draw you that extra card. Being able to use Tournament Power Arena, set up your top 3, seeing that extra card on the top and just being able to warp one of these to draw that card is so impactful. It's what's going to be the help propel you through your deck and help you find the next answer, find the next card you need to get there. And then looking at the deck itself, look at how many blue sources we're playing. Blue versus red. We're playing 16 dedicated blue sources, only 4 dedicated red sources. This is also important to getting that Tournament of Power Arena online on turn 1, because if you don't, you're going to find yourself, like I said, in a world of hurt. And charging Topo is the last thing you want to do in this deck, because you want to make sure that you have access to Topos in those aggressive matchups or those decks that are relying on, you know, a powerful battlefield but low hand size in order to be able to steal games from you. So Topo is very important in that respect, so you want to make sure you're not having to charge those. But again, as you can see with the deck construction, we're leaning heavily on these multicolor extra cards to propel us where we need to go. 2 Instinctive Reprisals, it's a great negate. You can -10 a leader and a battle card, or 2 battle cards. We're in this together as your board wipe. It's important that you can also recur it with just 1 red energy when it's in your drop area, so you can just clear the board for 2 energy at any given time. 4 Catastrophic Blow, this plays into your win condition. 4 Royal Condemnation, counters basically everything in the game that doesn't have Deflect. 4 Emperor's Death Beam, kills basically anything in the game. And then 2 Tyranny's Cost. This is going to be one of your card draw effects that you get to use across the course of the game. Great against hand control. You're going to be sideboarding more for that matchup. 4 Beer Super Combo, no reason not to. 4 Sensu Bean, 4 Dimension Magic. Untapping energy is important in this strategy. Being able to use the Sparking on Dimension Magic and then enable your different Invoker cards, your different Emperor's Death Beam, Royal Condemnation, etc. is so impactful. Sensu Bean, be able to extend those turns as well. Very important of this deck surviving and making it to the later parts of the game where it takes full control and then tries to turn the corner and win the game. So this is the list that we have here. It'll be down in the description below. Your surge abilities. When to Thoughtseize. So this is when to use your first ability. Main phase. If you're concerned about a specific threat which you cannot answer, you don't have the card available to answer the threat right now. It's your turn. You know that your opponent could play the given threat, so you activate it during your main phase, look at your opponent's hand, get rid of that card you're worried about, draw a card, proceed forward. You need to do this whenever a lot of times you're going to be using Thoughtseize when you're behind, except for like very specific instances. But again, main phase, you're going to be doing it if you're concerned about a specific threat which you cannot answer. So even if something to the effect of, it's like, let's say it's like a battering effect, like Cooler. You still want to get rid of that card because you know that you want to play your Topo next turn to be able to stop your opponent. So again, when you're concerned about a specific threat that you cannot answer, that's when you should use it main phase. Activate Battle offensively. When attempting to close out a game, this is perfect. Let's say you get a 6-trap Goku in play, you swing with it, or you swing with your leader, and you know that you have the ability to do that 2 damage since you have that effect on the board. You can just use this, look at your opponent's hand, get rid of a super combo, draw a card, and you're good to go. And then activate Battle defensively. When you're trying to break up a specific combination and your opponent has drawn a card or you're trying to prevent the opponent from extending their turn. So this is you trying to use the absolute amount of information possible in order to be able to make the best decision to disrupt your opponent's turn. So you're going to wait for them to draw that extra card, use this ability defensively, and then be able to pick out that card that you're worried about the most. Picking out the focus breakthrough so they can't hit your topo. Picking out the threat that they're going to play. Picking out, you know, a certain like card that they're relying on to be able to help propel them or extend their turn. This is when you're going to want to use this first ability. As you can see, the majority of the time, this ability is more so of a catch-up ability. It's not really that ability that kind of slams the door shut on the opponent, unless you're doing it like, let's say you're playing against hyper-aggressive strategies, and it's like turn 2, and you choose to awaken because you're at 5 life, and then you want to pick out a specific card. Like, then once you do that, then you can kind of close the door on a game, because odds of them drawing it becomes less and less across the course of the game. So that's like one of the only instances where it could actually be something that's offensively like gonna seal a game for you, or like I said, the activate battle offensively when you're actually trying to win the game. The next surge ability, why is this ability the most important? I'll tell you why. This is better than a draw 3 because you get 3 cards that you always want to have back. You often break the back of the opponent when a combination of Royal Condemnation, Death Beam, and X are picked up. So that means, like, let's say it's your turn, you're going to your opponent's turn, you're like, you know what? I'm already really far ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up another Royal Condemnation, another Death Beam. I'll pick up whatever, and then I'm just gonna pass the turn. And then now you have just an embarrassment of riches that your opponent can't do anything about. You can also use this to grab back your Catastrophic Blow when you're trying to go for game if you already have multiple copies in hand. But this is the ability that more often than not is going to be winning the game for you, or where you're ahead and now you've turned the corner and now your opponent's never coming back because you have all these resources to be able to stifle them, stop them as you try and seal the game. And then you have the flexibility of the activate main/battle, means your opponent can never commit to trying to win with a single vulnerable threat. Anything that's like 30k, you can always just drop a card, get a Death Beam, and kill it on command. You can always, you know, get that Royal Condemnation. You can always bait your opponent into certain plays because it's like you use your activate battle, you pick up a card, let's say you pick up your Royal Condemnation, your Intercept Theme, etc. It's like, what's your opponent going to do? Are they going to continue trying to kill you with a singular threat? Are they going to be able to commit another threat on the board? As you can see, this ability is just so much better than the first ability when you're in that mindset of get ahead, stay ahead. This is more often than not the ability that's going to win you the game. And of course, it can be used to catch you up. So this is the surge ability that I definitely prefer. You're probably going to be using one of each per game. If you ever activate this ability twice, you're probably going to be doing it in the mirror or against hand control. But again, fantastic ability. Probably, like I said, the best ability there is. And then we're going to talk about winning the game. Winning the game, you're going to be doing it a few ways. You're either playing the 6-drop Goku with Catastrophic Blow, or you're playing Apex of Power or the other Victory Strike. Apex of Power is so good because it's like a foo shot at a mystery. So not only does it have Victory Strike, it's going to be able to turn off all your opponent's battle cards. So yes, they can answer this with an extra card. Unfortunately, you don't want to get hit with Frost Deadly's Poison because it's just like, ouch. You know, you lose that ability and everything. But if your opponent is, you know, not playing those cards, or not playing blue, yellow, etc., they don't have the answer for it, this card comes down, it's a foo shot of the mystery, and then it can win the game if your opponent doesn't have that negate, and then it sticks around for another turn, which is very important. But the most reliable is going to be using that 6-drop Goku. When you play this card, choose up to 3 cards in your energy, place it in your drop area, then you can choose 3 blue multicolor cards, blue-red multicolor cards, put them in your energy untapped, so this basically ends up being a 3 cost, and this allows you to shotgun your opponent with Catastrophic Blow. And then the first instance of you doing damage with this drop out, you do 2 damage instead. So Catastrophic Blow, you can, if you have 3 in hand, you're going to take your opponent from 4 to 0, but that's how you're going to be winning the game. These are your ways to win the game. Catastrophic ends up being the most reliable, so keep that in mind as you move forward. But in general, very powerful archetype. I hope this video helped you all out today. I hope this is exactly what you were looking for. Like I said, I'll put the 3xG Invoker list down in the description below. If you get a chance, make sure you check out our Patreon if you're looking to improve your game on a daily basis. We have articles, videos, we have the Discord if you're looking for the best community there is. We have deck doctors, we have monthly training camps to get you prepared for these events, so make sure you check it out. And again, thank you so much. If you get a chance, share, like this video, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We're doing the announcement on Wednesday to see who wins the Budget Brew Android 13 build Trailer Park Boys. Thank you guys so much for everything. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, thanks. Bye!